The Supreme Court just delivered a bombshell ruling that could reshape global trade, and your crypto investments might feel the ripple effects sooner than you think. Welcome to the generational wealth community, your pathway from knowledge to legacy. We don't chase hype, we decode the market. Today, we're diving deep into the Supreme Court's recent decision on tariffs and what it truly means for the crypto space. This isn't just another policy update. It's a pivotal moment that highlights the limits of presidential power. It could influence everything from market volatility to the cost of mining hardware. Let's break it down step by step, starting with the facts of the ruling itself. On February 20th, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in a 6-3 decision that President Donald Trump's broad tariffs, imposed under the International Emergency Economic Powers Act, or IEEPA, exceeded his authority. This law, enacted back in 1977, was designed for national emergencies involving foreign threats, not as a tool for widespread trade policy. The court affirmed that only Congress holds the constitutional power to impose tariffs, striking down measures that had affected trillions of dollars in global trade. According to Skoda's blog, the ruling invalidates tariffs that collected an estimated more than $200 billion in 2025 alone, though it leaves open questions about refunds for importers who paid those duties. Dissenting justices, including Brett Kavanaugh, warned that this could lead to billions in refunds and uncertainty in existing trade deals with countries like China, the United Kingdom, and Japan. But here's where it gets interesting for crypto enthusiasts. The immediate market reaction was one of relief. Stocks in the US and Europe ticked higher, with the US market index up about 0.83% in mid-morning trading. As reported by Morningstar, crypto markets followed suit with a relief bounce. Bitcoin popped briefly after the news broke, reflecting broader optimism that reduced trade barriers could ease inflationary pressures and geopolitical tensions. Yahoo Finance noted that the decision potentially opens the door to more than $150 billion in tariff refunds, which could inject liquidity back into the economy and support risk assets like cryptocurrencies. Now, let's connect the dots to crypto specifically. First, consider the macroeconomic angle. Tariffs have been a drag on global supply chains, inflating costs for imported goods and contributing to economic uncertainty. By striking them down, the ruling could lower those pressures, making it easier for businesses to operate without the overhang of sudden duties. For crypto, this is bullish in a few ways. Mining operations, for instance, rely heavily on hardware like ASICs and GPUs, much of which comes from China and other tariff-hit regions. Lower or eliminated duties could stabilize production costs, improving profitability for miners and potentially boosting hash rates across networks like Bitcoin and Ethereum. As one ex-user pointed out in a recent post, this reduces cost pressures on tech and hardware, which is a direct win for the crypto ecosystem. Second, there's the sentiment boost. Crypto thrives in environments of policy certainty, and this ruling reinforces constitutional checks on executive overreach. CoinDesk highlighted that, while the direct impact on crypto is modest so far, the political implications could sting the industry by diverting attention in Washington to ongoing economic disputes. However, with tariffs off the table under IEEPA, markets might price in less volatility from trade wars, which historically correlate with dips in risk-on assets like Bitcoin. Bitcoin Magazine reported that Bitcoin's price popped right after the announcement, underscoring how sensitive crypto is to these macro shifts. That said, don't pop the champagne just yet. President Trump quickly pivoted, announcing a new 10% global tariff under Section 122, a different legal authority that allows for such measures without declaring an emergency, as Fidelity explained, while the Supreme Court's decision marginalizes the overall economic impact. The tariffs aren't vanishing, they're just being repackaged. An ex-post from today emphasized that the relief rally might be based more on words than fundamentals, with macro uncertainty simply changing shape rather than disappearing. This could keep Bitcoin hovering around $68,000, as another post noted, with retail investors stacking sats amid whale trimming. Plus, the question of refunds for the $175 billion in collected tariffs remains unresolved, and experts doubt much will be repaid, especially to entities in China. On the brighter side, this ruling might indirectly pave the way for more focused crypto policy. With trade drama dialed back, at least temporarily, lawmakers could turn to pressing issues like market structure legislation. Eric Trump recently teased that U.S. crypto regulations could come this year, which would provide the clarity the industry craves. In a landscape where Bitcoin's price is tied to broader risk sentiment, any step towards stability is a step up. Overall, the Supreme Court's tariff ruling is a mixed bag for crypto. Short-term relief from reduced trade tensions and hardware costs, but lingering uncertainty from the administration's quick workaround. It underscores why we always emphasize diversification and long-term thinking in this space. Keep an eye on how Congress responds. If they step in with new legislation, it could either amplify or mitigate these effects. Subscribe for daily recaps, drop a comment on your biggest takeaway, and turn on notifications. We do a crypto news video every morning and a deep dive every afternoon. Let us know in the comments any subjects you'd like us to cover. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only and not financial or investment advice. Crypto is volatile. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Do your own research.